This is Veda Sports, only on the VSiN Podcast Network.
Hello, folks. Welcome to the Veda Sportscast. These lovely curtains behind me are at the Aria Hotel. Now, I got to tell you, we're recording on a Wednesday. Yesterday, my son made a final table, 541 players at the World Series of Poker. Yeah, circuit event across the street at Planet Hollywood. Meanwhile, I made the final table here at the studio, 109 players. I cashed for 98,000, finished fourth, which was very depressed about. And, and I just kept replaying every hand. All right, what could I have done differently? And I could have done some stuff differently. I guess I'm just not. It's been a while since I was at a final table, but I'm ready for the next one.
I heard you played a couple of hands bad.
Sure, Mike. I mean, Mike's the only one. None of the hands are kept on. That we didn't record it, so no one even knows the hands. But sure, Mike. All right, Mikey, a stellar 23-13 for the year. I'm 16-20. Mikey guaranteed 4 wins this season, and he's 3-1 on his guarantees. If you shadowed his bets, you'd be up 12 units more if you bet double on his guaranteed picks. Our boy Mike is a 4-time World Series of Poker winner. Mike knows sports, studies sports, and watches more games than all of us combined. Mike, give us your rant.
Well. My rant is a happy rant because I beat Phil Hellmuth for 10,000 in a pick'em contest that I spotted him 5 games.
Oh, nice job, Mike. Nice job.
Mike, you and I are going to have the same rant.
And the best part of the rant is getting 2,000 from Mr. Businessman David Woodley when he said Harbaugh would not be fired. I said, I guarantee he's getting fired this week. We bet 2,000. He wanted to bet more, and I didn't take more because I'm an idiot. And he was fired the next day. So to my partners that I love so much, thank you for the 12,000 because you know what? I actually had a good week this week, even though I went 0-2 on the podcast. I actually didn't play any of those games because as week 18, I said how people are held out and you don't know early in the week who's going to play. I ended up completely off of Miami and completely off of the Ravens because it went to 5. So I had a good week, went like 8-2 and
nice job, Mikey. All right, let's go to David, the businessman Woodley. I love that nickname. Who started Speed Survivor. Check out speedsurvivor.com for some betting, like some really fun betting. Our guy Woodley has great knowledge and sharp takes. Woodley, what is your rant?
Yeah, my rant is it's not going to come as a surprise. Well, it's 2 rants. 2 things. There's 2 people I never want to see in certain NFL situations ever again. Number one is like Jason Kelce or Travis Kelce. Sorry, they're both idiots. I hope he retires. I hope he rides off in the sunset. I hope he does whatever stupid thing he wants to do. Go be a jackass with his brother on TV, whatever. Just get out of here. Go get married. Leave us all alone. And then more applicable, I never want to see J.J. McCarthy in a Minnesota Vikings uniform ever again. I mean, this punk kid, I don't know how...
They won the last 5 games.
I don't understand how the world got bamboozled by this kid that threw like 17 passes in college. Coming out of college, like Harbaugh was like, oh, he's so mature. He's this, that, and the other. Well, like we've seen what like Harbaugh's judge of character was at the University of Michigan, right? Like him and Sharon Moore, like great guys. McCarthy's been immature all year. He cannot call an offense. He doesn't know the playbook. Sorts of stuff.
They went over the win total of 8.5, bro.
Dude, that team, if you had Darnold on that team, they would have won 14 games. If you would have had Daniel Jones on the team, they would have won 13 games. If you would have had Mac Jones on the team, they would have won 13 games. Like, there's a million quarterbacks that could have got them there.
But they still went over the total, bro.
I don't fucking care about the total. I don't care that they won 9 games, dude.
What's that have to do with anything?
They won like 13 or 14 games last year. I want them to like do some shit. Like, I don't care that they won 9. I don't care that they beat a terrible Detroit team.
But Vegas said they were only going to win 8.5.
I don't care. I don't care that they beat Carson Toon. Okay, like I don't care. What I care about is, McCarthy comes out. He's actually looking kind of good, right? And what does he do? What is the one thing you can't do if you're a quarterback, especially him, who's been injured every 13 minutes, missed all last season, 5 injuries this year. Not all his fault, but again, no one is injury prone. He starts, oh, my hand, the hand, it's a little sore, whatever, fine. He comes back out after halftime. He throws 2 passes. The passes were fine. They're complete. He takes himself out of the game. He doesn't even have the trainer looks at it. He literally took himself out of the game. Didn't call a
Very
timeout.
smart.
Didn't wave over. He took himself out of the game. You know what? You know how many players talked to him after that point on the sideline? They kept showing not a single one. He lost the entire respect of the coaching staff, his teammates, everything else. I'm not saying you have to go and play like completely hurt, but he had a very minor fracture on his hand. It's the last game of the year. You're not going to the playoffs. Like, there's literally no reason to not like gut it out.
Jefferson says he wants him back next year because he's going to be the number one quarterback. He loves him.
Who?
Jefferson said he wants him as his number one quarterback.
They're not going to throw him under the bus, Mike. You know that. Like, if Jefferson comes out and says he sucks, like, everyone's on Jefferson. He's not coming. They're going to get a plan B. They need to trade this bum. He's an idiot. He's immature. He's injury prone.
2000 says he's a starting quarterback next year if he's not injured. That
like week 1 or like more than 8 games?
Week 1.
I'll come up with some odds because here's the problem. They may actually have to do it because this idiot GM, they're 21 million over the cap already. And they need like a lot of help. They got to fix the O-line. They might have to extend Addison. They're definitely going to have to go find another quarterback plan B, whether that's a Mac Jones, whether that's trading the farm for Joe Burrow. It doesn't matter. This kid sucks. He needs out, and him taking himself out of the game there, I can't remember when a quarterback did that. And when they do, they're usually gone like the next week. So like, fuck him, dude. He's at the top of the list for like Minnesota sports villains.
Woodley with all of his Minnesota vitriol. And, this guy, I feel for Woodley because he's so all in on all the Minnesota teams. They keep disappointing him. All right, let's go to Brandon Cantu, a 2-time World Series poker winner with some well thought out takes. We tease Cantu about betting his entire net worth on one game. Cantu, you got a rant?
Yes. I was just so upset this last week in arguably the game of the year, maybe the best regular season fourth quarter I've ever seen between the Ravens and the Steelers, and whichever team loses, your coach pretty much gets fired, Bull.
Yeah.
That was a great game. I'm a big fan of the of both the Harbaughs, and I was so upset to see the kicker missing the field goal, which pretty much just sent John Harbaugh to getting fired. Well, I thought I would help him out with his job search and his agent. You could go to the Browns. You've got the 2 quarterbacks over there fighting. It's cold with Deshaun Watson. Don't go there. You've got the Cardinals. They got the toughest division in football. Don't go there. You got the Giants. Do you want to go deal with the Eagles and like the Cowboys every week? Don't go there. Where you got to go, John, go to the Falcons. The Falcons are ready to win. You have 2 viable quarterbacks. You got the best running back in the league. They've won 4 games in a row. You've got good weather. Go to the Falcons. What do you guys think?
Well, all right. Let me just say this. It's interesting because Harbaugh, John Harbaugh is a great coach, but I think he needs to just brush up a little bit on the analytics. There's couple of calls that I haven't left. All right, guys, let me go with my rant. Folks, Mike beat me for a $10,000 side bet. Congrats, Mike. But shut up, my friend, because this is a rant. Mike was 30 games below 500 last year and is big loser lifetime betting sports, and yet he spotted me 5 games in our league where you pick 10 games per week. A 5-game spot from Mikey with his betting record, $10,000 on the line. Somehow within 2 weeks, he flipped me. He was in the lead. I never caught him. Now, it was close last week. If the Rams would have covered against the Falcons last Monday night, he would have been up 1 game, and I probably could have settled for like $1K or gotten out of the bet. But no, the Rams lost outright. Mikey went up 3 games instead of 1 game. I guess it was Mikey's year.
You couldn't even have won if
Mikey,
you went
shut up.
10-0 this week.
I guess it was Mikey's year. Sigh. Folks, we gave you our 4 rants. Check. Now we're going to give you our 8 picks, starting with our number 1 picks on the other side of the break.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VEASAN Podcast Network.
Welcome back, folks. We have a contest where we give away $500 a week thanks to our sponsor, Edge Boost. Check out Edge Boost VEASAN Average Show Contest. Simply make 7 picks each week, NFL or college, for your shot at $500. Already have an Edge Boost account? That prize doubles to $1,000. Quarterly winners get airfare to Vegas, a 2-night stay at Circa, at the Circle Resort and a guest spot on a VSiN show. That's pretty cool. It's free to play. Join now at vsin.com/Joe, VSIN.com/Joe. Mikey, you've been red hot. What is your number one NFL pick?
Well, my number one NFL pick is the pick I've been saying for 4 weeks now. That is the best team in the NFL. They've won 8 games in a row. They have the number one offense for the last 8 games, the number 2 defense for the last 8 games. They finished unbelievable. Is the Jacksonville Jaguars at home +1. I thought they had the wrong side favorite in the game. I noticed that it's moved to pick 'em now. Josh Allen's been great, but their defense just isn't much. You can't fix their defense. I mean, you could say, well, look, they didn't give up anything to the Eagles in the second of last week. Well, the Eagles haven't scored against anybody all year, so that doesn't mean anything.
Anybody all year?
If I'm right, I think the Jags at 15-1 to win the Super Bowl is just a great pick. I did bet them 1,000 at +850 to win the AFC. So I'm going with my pick in the playoffs, the Jacksonville Jaguars +1.
Guys, that happens to be my number one pick as well. I saw it just a few minutes ago at Jags +1 still at my site. So I'm going to give a little leeway here, +1, even, whatever. I bet it at +1. I saw it a few minutes ago at +1 still. So, all right. Let me just say this. I haven't believed in the Bills all year. Their defense has been terrible. I do believe in Josh Allen, but he seems a little bit banged up. It's like Cantu said many times, Buffalo seems to play with their food. I don't know if they have that killer instinct. And I think playing at the Jags, it's also
it'll be warm weather. Too.
Yeah, a team that's been practicing in cold weather now has to go down to warm weather to a team. I don't think it's going to be close. I think somehow the Jags are going to put up 31 points, and Buffalo, because of Josh Allen, they're probably going to put up, I have to give them 24 points only because of Josh Allen. So I love this pick. My number one pick is also Mike's number one pick. Now I'm hearing that Cantu's number one pick or number 2 pick is the opposite of this.
My number one pick is the Bills. And I'm going to agree with you guys on everything you just said. That's what's such kind of interesting is I think the Jags defense is playing better. The Jags are definitely the hotter hand. They're kind of buttoned up better. The Bills, when I always say they always play with their food, well, playoff Josh Allen has been different. This is kind of what I like about him. And
they are 0-4 on the road in the playoffs lifetime, by the way.
I know, but I'll tell you, Josh Allen has played well in those losses. Man, those games to the Chiefs that he has lost, he has played flat out incredible. It has not been Josh Allen's fault. I don't think Trevor Lawrence can bring that when it comes, and we'll see. Maybe he will. Maybe it will just be like the regular season. I can't explain to you why I think it's the Bills. I just think they're going to kind of do some magical thing, and I do think the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. It's a really tough game in the first round, but man, I believe in Josh Allen come the playoffs there's no Burrow, Mahomes, or Lamar. So,
okay, so my number one pick and Mike's number one pick, the Jags, has been bam, bam, bam. We're clashing with Cantu's number one pick. Woodley, weigh in.
As much as I want the Bills to win, I think the narrative is good. My actual pick for the Super Bowl is Seattle versus the Bills. I think it's a really bad matchup for them. The Bills have no defense. They're just very sloppy. Other than Cook and Allen, there's no one on the team that worries you whatsoever. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been super high on the Jags all year, but it's really hard to argue with what's going on there. I mean, they got 2 or 3 good receivers. They can actually run the ball. They play solid
I think the
defense.
Jacoby Myers trade really changed everything.
Yeah, Myers legit number 1, and then it opened up Washington and Thomas.
Yeah,
it's a good point. Now Myers is a stud. Man, it's at home. Listen, if this is at Buffalo, I'd take Buffalo 9 days out of 9 days or 9 days a week. But I like the Jags, and what effectively is just a pick 'em. So yeah, I mean, maybe not the most confident, but I'm on them.
I can't even understand. I can't even understand why Buffalo's a favorite. It makes no sense to me.
I think it's Josh Allen. It's Josh Allen.
It's
They knew
Josh
the
Allen,
public would bet on him too. I mean, the Jags have the most wins versus playoff teams, by the way, too. So
Now listen, because all three of us had our number one picks, we discussed that.
What's
all right,
Woodley?
we are going to go to Woodley for his number one pick. This could be our number one shortest segment ever on number one picks. Go ahead, Woodley. Who do you like?
This is something I've done a complete 180 on. As I've looked into it more and more, I will also be attending this game with some Edge clients, partners, and even Ben Jerusalem. I think that's his last name.
Our boy Ben,
the
flying
Steelers-
from Vegas to go
I
to
love this
Pittsburgh
pick.
to hang out with Woodley.
I'm going with Pittsburgh. Now I got it at 3.5. It's back to 3, but it did move to
Woodley,
3.5.
can I make a quick side point? You told Ben that if he signs up for an Edge Boost account, you'd get him a free ticket.
Yeah, and he is, so it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's
Thank you for taking care of our Ben.
He's a high. I mean, he's a high roller in the DFS world and stuff. I mean, he moves a lot. So yeah, that's the carrot. He gets to
go.
sleep on the other bed. He's not VIP enough to pay for his flight or whatever, but we got his ticket. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Great gesture.
I got Pittsburgh at 3.5. I kind of pivoted when that happened. Now it's back to 3, but I still like it at 3.
I do too.
I do not think Pittsburgh's a good team. I want to be very clear on that. But
They're playing good, dude.
it's going to be cold. It is going to be loud. Tomlin, for all his faults, is like
the
unbeatable.
Steelers haven't lost
It's
on
like
Monday night since 1999.
Yeah, they're like unbeatable at that. And again, like some of it is variance, right? Like some of it is luck. I mean, they should have lost the Sunday night game. Let's be clear on that. But I think when you give Tomlin that extra day, I think there is something there. But more importantly, it's the weather. Like dome teams playing outdoors in the playoffs are like 1-14 in the last 15 when like the weather's like cold, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be 12 or 20 degrees. Man, and I hate going against the Texans because I actually really like the Texans. I think the Texans actually still might go outright. So that's why I love the 3.5, because like you can still lose that game and come out ahead. But even if it's a 3, I'm like, yeah, maybe there is a push there. Because I think the reality is I think this is going to be a low scoring game because the Texans have a great defense. This is the ultimate home field advantage game. I don't know how many points I would give home field advantage. A lot of people say it's like, 1.5 to 2.5, but like I would give home field advantage on this like 5 points because of the weather. Because if this was in Houston, I would take Houston like minus a touchdown easy. I would take them -8 easy. Like, because I think Houston would like smack him around in the dome. But man, give me the Steelers home underdog. All the narratives just point to the Steelers. So for once, I'm going to go with the numbers.
Let me go next. That is my number 2 pick. We're going right out of the gate. It's kind of the same pick as my Buffalo pick. That it's everything you've pointed at, everything you've watched says Houston should win this game. I know I should think that, but I think Tomlin's kind of a spooky guy. I like Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of spooky. I think it's going to be very low scoring. I think it's going to be a very controlled game. I'm thinking like 10-9, 12-10, something really ridiculously low scoring. I don't know what the total is on the game, but give me the under. Give me Aaron Rodgers. I think he gets it done, and I think it's going to be a really special run if they just even get one win.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. My number 2 pick is the opposite, so let me go. Houston, -3. We'll give you 3.5. At Pittsburgh on Monday Night Football. I am aware that Tomlin's won like 25 games in a row on a Monday, so I think that's going to sway Mike to the other side of this. But to me, Houston has a top 3 defense, and C.J. Stroud learned something big and returned to form. I was really worried about Stroud. He had a big decline, and then I think sitting on the sideline, he watched the secondary quarterback come in. I forget his name. Who was Houston's quarterback that came in for a few games?
Miles.
David Mills.
Mills. Yeah.
Yeah, Davis Mills. So Mills comes in, and then Stroud says, wow, I learned a ton, which I love. Sitting on the sideline, watching him play, I learned a ton. He comes back in, and there is the C.J. Stroud who's been accurate. There is the C.J. Stroud who we all thought might be a Hall of Famer before his decline. And so it feels like he's in form. It feels like It feels like their defense is maybe the second best defense in the NFL. And
Yes.
I hate going against trends, and I guess I'm the only one that loves this, but I think Houston is just too much team, way too much team. What Woodley said, I agree with. And then what Cantu said, but let me just say this. If the game was in Houston, I would take Houston -8. So I agree with Woodley on that. I think they're that much better of a team. On the other side of this, Cantu's points about Tomlin being spooky and Rodgers being spooky, that kind of holds weight for me. They win these weird games, something happens, you know what I mean? But I do not like the under in this game. Yeah, it's going to be cold. Yeah, it's going to be hard to score, but there's just
I
too
agree
much
with you.
offense on Stroud.
I agree with you. If this game was in Houston, it was indoors in that dome. I think Houston wins by 2 scores. It's something about being outdoors in the cold, wild card weekend, Monday night. They got a night primetime loud game. Just all those things considered, I think that's what it is.
I mean,
I'm still in love with Houston. Just way too much team. And by the way, I bet them at 14.5. I think 15-1 to win the Super Bowl. Houston. So I put my money there. Mikey,
I mean,
give us the final word.
I like their defense, but I also watched Riley Leonard light them up in the first half last week when they were playing for the division. Before at halftime, they knew that they weren't that. They rested everybody. They knew that the Jags were not going to lose. But the first half, you had a third-string quarterback just really light them up, and I don't know, man. As crazy as it sounds, let's go back 5 weeks after the Bills game. They were 6-6. Everybody wanted Tomlin fired. I mean, they finished the year 4-1. They lost to Cleveland. They only gave up 13 points 2 weeks ago, but they were missing Metcalf. That was really huge for them in that week, and it was really cold. And I
That's a good point.
I like going with teams that are hot down the stretch. I mean, let's be honest. They were 6-6, and we thought they were the worst 6-6 team we'd ever seen. Right? They finished the year 4-1. They showed up that when they got adversity, or they came up. I mean, they were down 10-0 to the Ravens. It looked like the Ravens were going to blow them out of the water. And then what did they do? They held the Ravens to like 6 yards in the third quarter. They took the lead in that game, and the Ravens, Lamar made some good passes, and the crazy last 4 minutes of 3 touchdowns or whatever. But man, I don't know, man. When you see a guy who's 29 for 29 from under less than 50-yard field goal, miss a field goal, and you see all these things that are kind of breaking their way, I just feel like
I agree.
Like something is going to happen. I love the 3.5. I didn't get it, unfortunately. It's down to 3. I'll take the Steelers plus a 3. I think they're going to win outright. I don't think Houston has enough offense, and I don't know how to explain it to you. But sometimes, like even when the Chiefs got to the Super Bowl last year and they weren't that good of a team, they had the game against Houston where they were completely outplayed, and but they got 12 points off special teams that won to the Chiefs the game. I just feel like something magical is happening in Pittsburgh. So
I
give me
agree.
the Steelers.
Boy, oh boy, all I've heard is magic and spooky. I'll take the team, boys. I'll take the better team. Everybody admits on this chat that Houston is a much better team.
Well, they got a better defense. I'm not sure they have a better offense.
The one thing that worries me, I'm worried about DK in the fourth quarter getting that 15-yard penalty for whatever reason, just losing his mind and costing him the game. That's my biggest fear with DK coming back. I hope he doesn't do that, though.
Okay, guys, we gave you our number 1 picks. On the other side, it'll probably be a little shorter segment. We're going to give you our number 2 picks, and we're going to try to talk about every single game. See you in a couple minutes, fellas.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VEASAN Podcast Network.
The Feta Sports Podcast is brought to you by our sponsor, Splash Sports. If you don't know Splash, the founders bought OfficeFootballPool.com and RunYourPool.com. They're now live in 45 states and Canada. Download the Splash Sports app in the sports section of the App Store. That app is still climbing and going. You can make bets starting at $5. Thanks again to Splash for sponsoring our Fade Us Sports Podcast. Mikey, Red Hot Mikey, although not so much last week. Mikey, what's your number 2 NFL pick of the week?
My number 2 NFL pick is the team that has the worst offensive line to ever make the playoffs, and that is the LA Chargers, plus 3.5 against the New England Patriots. The Patriots are 1-2 against winning teams. They have literally got 14 wins, 13 against losing teams. Imagine that. 13 of your 14 wins versus teams that have a losing record. They lost to the Steelers. They lost to the Bills the second time. Their only win is against the Bills the first time they played him in like week 5. I see a team, they took the week off, they rested Herbert, get him a little bit more healthy, they rested the offensive line, the makeshift offensive line, get him a little more healthy. You're getting 3.5 with the better, what I think is every way around the better team minus the offensive line. But what's hurt Herbert the most are teams that could get to the quarterback. The Patriots aren't that team that could get to the quarterback. They have a really good offense, a decent defense, and unless you're top like 4 or 5 defense, the Chargers Herbert's able to move the ball. I watched that last game against Houston. If it wasn't for a missed extra point and a missed field goal, as bad as that offensive line was, they would have been tied in that game. This team shows a lot of heart. Their defense is ranked number 3 or 4 in the NFL. I think they're 3. The defense is a monster. Listen, he hasn't. Mr. Drake May has not faced a defense all year like what he's going to face with the Chargers, and that's why they've made him look like some genius MVP because he played, 13 wins against losing teams, and 10 of those are against the 5 worst or 6 worst teams in the NFL. 2 against Miami, 2 against the Jets.
That's terrible.
Cleveland, the Titans. The Raiders. They lost to the Raiders. Any team that lost to the Raiders, give me a break. I'm confident here that this Patriot team is overrated. They played nobody. That's why I think that Stafford deserves the MVP. I don't know if he's going to get it, but give me the Chargers plus 3.5 against a team that can't beat a winning team.
Woodley, you chomping on the bit on this one?
I don't trust either team. I think whatever team wins this game is not going to win another game in the playoffs.
I agree.
Is Herbert okay?
Yeah.
We don't know.
He played pretty darn good 2 weeks ago against Houston.
Yeah,
and they killed him too. The offensive line was getting murdered.
Listen, on one hand, the Patriots haven't really played or beaten anybody, but you can only okay. You can only play who the schedule makers give you, which is all predetermined, by the way. It's a formula. It's not anything else. Want to clarify that. But they've been beating them, and they've actually looked pretty good. May honestly should be. He won't win the MVP because voters are stupid, but he is the MVP of the league this year.
I hope you're right.
That voters are stupid. Yeah, they are. They're all they're giving it to Stafford as a lifetime achievement, which is not what the MVP should be about. They're it's only May's second year. What does that have to do with it? May leads the league and all these stats. But anyways, I digress. I don't like either one, and when I don't like either one, give me the underdog, especially when they're getting more than a field goal.
Woodley, did you troll Mikey in about $1 on the Stafford thing and say, "Look, I supported your
10
picks."
cents. I did 10 cents.
What a troll! I was he's I supported your
bet.
Listen,
it wasn't a bad pick because I knew that Stafford was going to get 4 touchdowns versus Arizona's dog shit team. So
I did a little bit more. I did a little bit more than 10 cents. I didn't do much. I did a couple hundred on it, but I did the 10 cents. Just I thought it'd be really, really.
I think Stafford deserves the MVP. I think that. Yeah, I think he's had a much better year than May, and personally, but yeah, I know.
What a bad year overall, though. You're giving it to a guy, Stafford. He had a good year, but not great year. Okay, I don't even think this is his best.
He's only set the second most touchdowns that any passes anybody's ever had. 47.
I think he's had a great year. Obviously, they both had great years.
The leader is the 50 in 2007 that Brady put. So you're talking about the second most touchdowns, and they only had 8 turnovers.
They're the 5 seed, and you're the quarterback.
Yeah, but he's in the best division in the history of the football.
Then you're not the MVP. If you don't win your division, you're not the MVP. I think to me it's
who should they give it to? Darnold?
No, I think they should give it. I think they should give it to May. He won his division. They're the 2 seed.
I mean, I will say this, Mike. We've discussed this 100 million times on the chat because Mike has a big bet on Stafford, like in the neighborhood of like $15,000-$20,000, and so Mike just puts up stats every day why Stafford.
I mean, I honestly,
and we keep telling
know.
Mike we're not the voters. Mike, he keeps putting in stats and stats and stats. We're not the voters, Mike.
I don't know,
but I agree with Mike on this. But then again, as Woodley keeps saying and Cantu keeps saying, a lot of times the MVP is given almost every time to the 1 or the 2 or the 3 seed, right, Woodley?
Yep, it's the 1 or 2, like but they won't do it this year because there's a lot of narrative out there about Drake May, and it's interesting too because some of these voters are actually represented by the same agent as Stafford, like that Dan Orlovsky guy that's been like beating the drum for a while. They have the same agent, I mean, these guys are like boys, and it feels like a lifetime achievement award. Like I'm happy for Mike that he's going to win his bet. Anyways,
right.
back to the game at hand. Give me the Chargers.
I almost want to sell you my bet.
If Herbert is, I have a guy that will buy some of it. If you can give him 200, the minus 200 or better, like he'll buy it all. Not all, but a good amount of it.
Minus 200. The line's minus 160, isn't it?
All right, then give him minus 180. I don't know. Give him minus 1.
It's right there.
Anyways,
all right, guys. Let's
give me the Chargers. If assuming Herbert is healthy, give me the Chargers. I think they keep it close. They've got some receivers there. And one more comment about the Chargers. This like Lad McCloskey guy or whatever, like that guy is talk about a bust, man. That guy was like coming on the season. They're talking about being like a true number 1. He's like the 3rd or 4th best receiver on that team right now.
What a good first half. First half of the season, he was good.
If they could block for Herbert, watch out. That's all I can say.
Cantu, give us your opinion, Cantu.
They win the Super Bowl.
I feel like I'm all in my feelings today. My 3rd team in a row that I'm going with my feelings. I look at the Patriots. They look like the better team. They look like much better offense. Just a better team, better record. But give me the Chargers. I feel I just like the Harbaugh-Herbert combination. I'm getting really emotional, really in my feelings. It's the exact same. It's pretty much the exact same thing as my last 2. Give me the Chargers.
It's interesting because this game, it's going to be a unanimous pick because I'm also going to go with the Chargers. But I've been watching New England. I've been watching New England destroy teams, and they've covered. I don't know. My instincts are they've covered 80% of the time because they've been undervalued, but they have played a lot of bad teams, and the odd makers know they've played a lot of bad teams, and because of that, the spread has been off, and they keep surpassing expectations. Now, it's also possible that that they're going to win by, they're going to win by 3 points or something, or 2 points or 1 point, and we can somehow sneak in that way.
I got a question.
I love the Chargers. Let me just say this, Mike. I think that Herbert, is a great quarterback, and I think we all agree on that. I think the offensive line, as you've said many times, Mike, the offensive line for the Chargers has been injured all year. Most of them are back this week. Now it is warm.
Their 2 best aren't back. The other 2 are.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
Warm climate, the left tackle and the right tackle are both out. So.
Warm climate team versus cold climate team. And I really think that, I think that Herbert's been here before. He's had some really disappointing outcomes. And I think he's just going to make sure they win. So we all like them. All right. Now, let's see. I believe that David Woodley owes us a number 2 pick.
Yes, I'm going with probably the. You're all going to be on the other side, I think. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers getting 10.5 at home versus the LA Rams. Now, this is a team that and I know the playoffs are different, but they beat them. I mean, they beat them. They beat them fair and square.
Listen, the weather. I saw the weather report for this game, so I'm on board with you on this, and I'll explain.
What's the weather report, Mike?
The weather report is actually worse than when they lost to them in the monsoon. Okay, it's going to be 17 to 22 mile an hour winds would gust up to 50 miles an hour and rainy and cold.
Wow. They
turned over your MVP. I think 3 times last time.
Yeah, because it was the monsoon, and now this weather's going to actually be worse from what I saw.
I'm not saying they're going to win, but 10.5 is all these games. There's all these narratives out there in these games. There's the garbage division winner, all that. I remember another one. It was like my favorite time in Vegas, actually, or one of my favorite times in Vegas, and it was was a little game when the Saints were playing a team, Seattle Seahawks, that I think went 8-8, and a little thing called the Beastquake happened. And I mean, listen, anything can happen. Like, they're at home. Like the Panthers haven't been good in like forever, right? Like, they get this extra life, you know, because Atlanta beats, you know, the Saints and everything. Like, they're literally playing with like house money at this one. And again, like, they already beat them.
Here you guys go. Expected rain and potential thunderstorms with strong winds up to 40 miles an hour. Temperatures in the high 60, making for challenging conditions for passing and kicking. What does that favor? What does Carolina do well? They run the ball.
Yep. So I mean, this is a team, like, we can talk about how they've been up and down, and they've been up and down like all year, but they had some good wins. They destroyed the Falcons, which are, you know, I would say a good team.
Twice.
Like, I mean, hell, the Falcons sort of won the division. They beat the Cowboys, again, not the best team, but yeah, they beat. I mean, they beat the Rams. They won at Green Bay. I mean, this team clearly. They swept the Falcons. Actually, that's why they won the division. Like, they can do it. They can hang in there. Like, and I don't think anything the Rams have done. I don't think you can look at the Rams and be like, oh, they're definitely going to blow everybody out. I mean, like, what?
No,
why?
I think the
like,
Rams win a close game.
Yeah. Where's this like narrative coming from that the Rams like world beaters? And I was looking at the odds for the Super Bowl. I think like the Seahawks are like favored at like plus 350 or something. And feel free to check my math. But like the Rams are right behind it, like plus 425. And I'm like, it makes no sense for me. Like, the Rams are going to go on the road potentially 3 times and win the Super Bowl, and that's like your second favorite. Like, why? Because it's Stafford and Puka. Okay, great. But I don't know, man. Like, that defense, like,
I mean, the defense the last 5 weeks has been like ranked like 30th.
yeah.
Like, and they
have not been like what they were.
They weren't. It wasn't like they were that good against Arizona last week. They gave up 20, and yeah, the second half the defense was much better, but that they're not getting to the quarterback like they were early in the year. The pass defense looks shitty.
And Panthers can run the ball. They got 2 running backs. It's perfect for bad weather. I mean, they should be able to. They're going to pound the ball. They're not. Nobody's going to be throwing it that much because of the wind. Like, this has all the makings of a close game, and keep an eye out for the upset. Honestly, like, just keep an eye out for it. Like, nobody's giving them a shot in hell.
I'm on your side, Woodley.
I was going to say Rams, and after listening, Woodley, you made a lot of sense there. And especially after hearing that weather report, and I do like the Carolina's running game. Give me the Panthers. I kind of agree that the Rams they're not the same team. I don't quite know what it is that's not gelling them together.
They're really good, but the weather really hurts them here.
They're just not putting it all together. That's what it is, and I can't exactly say why. I think that weather is going to be huge against the Rams, who likes to pass a lot. Give me the Panthers.
You know, there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, Woodley, get out of my head. Woodley, get out of my head.
Yeah, he's in my head.
Because I was definitely going to go Rams on this. And by the way, I'm going to ask you guys a question, but I need one. Can you answer with a yes or a no? Yes or a no? Yes? I'm going to say this. If the Rams were hosting the Panthers and the line was 10.5, Cantu, one-word answer, who would you choose?
Rams, probably.
Mikey, who would you choose?
Probably the Rams.
Woodley.
Well, I mean, the Rams, because I think the line's where it needs to be. But if he said like
one word,
14,
Woodley, I'm on me. So I'm going to say I agree. We all agreed that if this game were in L.A., we would all lay the 10.5. It would be unanimous choice. But Woodley got in my head. He got in Cantu's head because we were going to both choose the Rams because the Rams, even though Mike has said all year the Rams are the best team, Cantu hasn't necessarily believed in them.
No, I think they're the best team.
I think they're the best team too.
The Jags
Seattle's
are the best
been pretty
team.
Impressive.
He's hedged his bets. Last week he said Philadelphia is the best team. He said Philadelphia's going to win the Super Bowl.
Actually, the truth of the matter is I got the Jags as the best team. You're right. I believe the Jags are going to the Super Bowl.
He's hedging himself here.
Rams are one of the best.
You're right.
teams.
You're right. I think the Rams are the best team in the NFC. But
Okay,
so
we'll
I mean,
see.
like to me, it's one I've ever like. I was gonna bet the Rams before the podcast today, but I'm gonna wait and see the weather because if like this is like a game time decision for me because I
this
do think the Rams.
if you want to bet the Rams, the line's going down. It'll go to 9.5. I promise you.
It went from
Well, I
10
have to
10
make
and a
sure
half.
there's. But anyway, I'm going with the Panthers based on the weather report. It looks like we have a unanimous choice here. All right, guys, we've given you our rants. We've given you our number 1 picks. We've given you our number 2 picks. We're coming back after the break to talk about a couple of the games we haven't talked about to finish up this podcast, our first postseason podcast.
You're listening to Feta Sports on the VEASAN Podcast Network.
Folks, you might be listening to this podcast because you want an edge. You have the mindset, now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Pro bettors spend thousands of dollars on data and tools. What they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VEASAN Pro. With VEASAN Pro, you'll get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Just tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already choosing VEASAN Pro to cash more bets. Okay, let's talk about the Packers at the Bears. We're going to start out with Woodley, even though I'm a Packers homer.
Yeah, I want to take the Bears so bad, but I'm rooting for the Seahawks, and it's actually like if you're a Seahawks backer or a fan, you want the Packers to win this because even though Mike thinks we had a whole thing with Mike this week because Mike thought it's like a bracket like March Madness where like they don't reseed after the first round.
I knew you were right after a minute. I had to just double check.
No, you knew I was right after I snap called you on the bet. He's like, let's bet. He's like, oh, never mind.
Mike is like the bracket is set, and we're like, Mike, do you understand? But I mean, Mike just had a brain fart for a second there.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
no, it's his brain works.
I mean,
it's like normal.
I watched these first two games. Right, I thought in the first game the Packers just dominated.
Well, no, I'm taking the Packers. I'm taking the Packers because I think the experience here matters, and I just don't think. I don't think. The Bears, I don't know. Like the Bears, it just feels too soon for them. But I mean, it's gonna be a really good game. I mean, it really feels like a pick-em toss-up. Just give me the Packers because I'm rooting for them to play the Seahawks, and I think the Seahawks absolutely dominate them in the next round. So too early. One year too early for the Bears.
I agree with you. I mean, the Packers lost 4 straight to end the year, but the Chicago lost 2 straight to end the year. And I mean, the fact that they really wanted the 2 seed. They got it anyways, but they wanted it. They wanted to win. And the fact that they were completely dominated in the game against Detroit, who was literally without everybody, a whole offensive line, a whole defensive line. And I just think that, everybody kind of jumped on the Bears when they beat the dog shit Eagles. But I just don't think they're very good. And this line was pick'em, and now it is 1. Give me the Packers -1.
Okay, a couple of things. One, we're saying goodbye to Woodley because he is his nickname, the businessman. He is actually a businessman. And he actually has to work. We're recording a day later than usual. Goodbye, Woodley. Listen, I'll just say this. You have an 11-6 team hosting a 9-7-1 team, an 11-6 team hosting a 9-7-1, and the odd makers say the Packers are the favorite. I agree. I love the Packers in this game. What Mike said rang true to me. I watched the first 2 games, of course, and I'm a Packers homer.
I mean, you take away the second half of the first game, and the Packers completely dominated them. I mean, even that second game, they dominated them. They were up 10 with 4 minutes to go. They get a field goal, an onside kick. That game wasn't even close.
That was 98.5% that the Packers are going to win. I have a lot of people that are in pain because of that. My cousin Claire is
and this is kind of a revenge spot for them. I mean, think about the first game. They dominated the first game. They were up by like 13 at halftime. They had 73 yards of offense. Then all of a sudden, the Bears caught fire second half and almost won that game. I mean, he threw an interception on the last play, Mike. They dominated them all but like 5 minutes of both 2 games. I think that the line move is right.
If you look, Mike, at who the better team is in the last 5 minutes of the game, Bears are 20 times as good, apparently.
On this game. This game is going to be a really good, really tight, really close. I think it's going to come down to the last play, whether it's a field goal, touchdown, walk it off some way. I would be really surprised if this game gets out of hand. I with a gun to my head, I guess I'll take the Bears just because the Bears win those spooky games. That's why they are the 2 seed this year. I think maybe that they keep that going. These games are all so other than the Rams Panthers, where I think the Rams win and they'll win as solidly. Maybe they keep it within 10. These games are all going to be the best round of games that I can ever remember. I guess give me the Bears. It's so tight.
In the Eagles Rams game, like I really like the Eagles at -3. It's now 4.5. I wouldn't lay 4.5 with the Eagles. They put a gun on.
Wait. Who do the Eagles play? You said Eagles Rams. Mike.
San Francisco. Eagles
Yeah.
in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And this line opened 3. It's been moved to 4.5. And listen, there's overreaction to what Seattle did to the Ram or to San Francisco at home. And the Seattle's got the best defense in the NFL. So, but San Francisco's defense has struggled all year, right?
Yeah.
They held Seattle to 13 points. I mean, they had their chances. Frisco was going in to tie the game, and they should have been up by 1 million, and they got the turnover, and that was the end of the game. But listen, the Eagles' defense is really good. They are getting Lane Johnson back. That is a huge get back because when he plays, they run the ball a lot better. San Francisco cannot stop the run. It's an overreaction of the line move.
Mike, what do you think about? I got a question. What do you guys think about? Did you see the last hit that Purdy took? And I mean, got crunched. He got crunched low, high, hit the head. He was concussed. I'll tell you that. He didn't know where he was. Dude, his thumbnail and his throwing hand. Oh, I think he is.
Dude, he got hit in his ribs, dude. They bent him in half.
He got hit like this. I mean,
he didn't get hit in the head. He got hit.
I think he did. He got crunched. He got crunched every which way. His hand, dude, his whole body got hurt on that play. His fingernails all bleeding on his throwing hand, which could give him some problems to throw. I think the 49ers, they lost a lot of players, man. They just more players keep getting hurt. I can't even name them, but they lost more players, got hurt. Purdy, I don't think is going to be the same off of that. I actually like the Eagles. If you would have asked me before this last game, I would have loved the 49ers. I thought they were the second best team. I do take a lot of weight in how they needed to win, and at home they got crunched last week by the Seahawks. Yeah. I worry about Purdy's health.
This Mike Matisow talked about the Eagles are the worst. Like they're overrated. They're not good. Week after week after week.
And I've also told you the San Francisco defense has been horrible. Now it was good against Seattle, but the reason why? What was my best pick? I kept telling y'all last week. Under in the Seattle game, and the line went from 47.5 to 48.5. When it went to 48, I jumped on it. I didn't understand. Then it went to 48.5, and I just didn't understand it because I know how great the Seattle defense is, and I know that Darnold and Seattle's offense sucks. For 6 straight weeks, they ain't scored anything. Like that offense has been terrible for 6 weeks. And it was again last week. And so
I think the Eagles get them. I think the 49ers are just too hurt. And the Eagles, I think they got to pull it together. Sirianni's got to bring those guys together, get them all on the same page. They're so much better than the 49ers with who they have healthy.
Come on. Philadelphia Eagles have just a fantastic defense. We all agree on that. Their offense has not been very good. Meanwhile, the 49ers offense has been one of the best in the league the last 7 weeks since Purdy came back. So I see them putting up a bunch of points. So, I think that it's kind of scary because, Philadelphia doesn't lose many games at home. They have the weather, they have the crowd, they have like some kind of insane. I think
the Eagles win in a 3 or 4 point game. I can't lay 4.5. That's all.
Yeah, and the Eagles have been clutch. We've watched them the last year. I don't know. This could be the time that their luck runs out.
This Eagles team could be the Chiefs team of 2 years ago.
Mike, would you be shocked? Would you be shocked if the Niners were up 21-3 at the half?
Yeah, that's not happening.
That would be a shock. Shock
me.
I mean,
I would be shocked.
The best offense of the league in the last. So that's why I can't choose the Eagles in this spot. I have to go with the 49ers. But I'll be watching Purdy because if Purdy is injured, obviously it's a no-brainer to bet a bunch of money on the other side.
We're not going to get a truthful injury.
The most important thing here is, will Trent Williams play? If Trent Williams don't play, give me nothing on Frisco. Lay the 4.5. Lane Johnson come back. If Trent Williams plays, I think that's why they couldn't score last week. They got too much. He has way too much pressure on them. They couldn't run the ball.
Very key point you just brought up, Mike. I actually forgot about that. Man, Christian McCaffrey just not the same without Trent Williams. He has to have those two together.
But that's the thing is the Eagles are not the same without Lane Johnson. Those are the two best offensive linemen in the league. Like he's been out for like 8 weeks, and so the Eagles' offense had looked like it's looked like crap all year, but it really has looked like crap since he's been out. And with him coming coming back. I think I watched Seattle just run the ball easily against Frisco last week. But what are they going to do now with Lane Johnson back? Barkley could go off. I can't lay the 4.5, and I can't. I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I just don't know if they cover.
Okay, guys, one last question, and we're going to wrap up here for the week. And I'm going to start with Cantu. Who is going to win the Super Bowl?
Do you want an NFC and AFC or just Super Bowl?
Super Bowl winner.
Seahawks.
Mikey, who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Where's the conviction?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
I would you guys be surprised if it came down to the Rams and the Jaguars?
That's who I have. I have in the Super Bowl. I have the Rams against the Jags, and I just think that the Jags, that their offense is clicking. The defense, no team in the NFL have been better the last 8 weeks. And remember last year at week 7, I said there's nobody close to the Eagles, right? And 5 weeks ago, I said this Jags team is nobody. They're murdering teams, and they're beating good teams.
Can I tell you why? Let me tell you why they're not going to go to the Super Bowl, because they're a warm weather Florida team. Wait until they go to New England. That's where New England or Denver, they're a toast. Those warm weather teams can't do it. That's why they will not be there. I don't like that pick at all.
Don't be surprised if Houston makes the Super Bowl, guys. All right, goodbye, everybody. Really nice podcast.
So wait, you like the Houston to win the Super Bowl?
I said don't be surprised, but
who's your pick to win the Super Bowl?
Yeah, who's your pick?
I like the Rams to win the Super Bowl, but I wouldn't be surprised if they play Houston, and that's going to be a hell of a game.